A staple of shipping all over the world is the continual drive to reduce cost nowadays. One way to do so is to increase the size individual ships, even while reducing the crew aboard. Though certain positions are phased out or replaced, one special position on Chinese flag ships remains. Indeed, a major difference between Chinese flag ships owned by state government and ships of other flags is the presence of a special officer, le commissar. The function of le commissar has a long history in Chinese life. Commissars are not restricted to the maritime sector, but exist in some form throughout Chinese political life. They sometimes bear different titles. A commissar in shipping or the military, for instance, is similar to secretary of the party committee in the Chinese universities. But their functions share clear similarities across the industries. The MARE Project of North American Maritime Ministry Association had the opportunity to make case studies of a number of Chinese ships visiting several ports in North America. Among the other goals of this study was achieving a better understanding of the commissar's function on ship and the effect his presence has on the crew. The results of the study will provide guidance for chaplains or ship visitors who want to better communicate with Chinese seafarers, and not least with the commissar himself. Here we focus on Chinese seafarers at this point, not only because better communication skills are helpful, but also because even if chaplains and ship visitors already know the language, there are still cultural barriers and still need to be understood. Further, as the new BIMCO ICS survey has pointed out, Chinese seafarers are now the #1 overall nation supplying seafarers qualified for international trade. On a state-owned Chinese ship, such as a ship belonging to COSCO, China Shipping, the commissar is one of the highest-ranking individuals on board. The position is counted among the ship's leadership. The commissar functions as a supervisory political officer assigned to the ship by the Communist Party. As such, he is responsible for the political education of the crew. The political education delivered by the commissar covers a broad spectrum, going beyond the narrowly political topics. His responsibilities include the moral conduct of the crew. He is also responsible for accounting, including the money spent on food, on activities. On some ships, he also works as a secretary to the captain. In addition to writing regular reports for the Communist Party, the commissar also publishes in the ship's official newspaper. He is required to keep records of much of the ship's life, including logs and work records for weekly submission. There has been a shift in the past 10-20 years for the commissar. Professor Minghua Zhao, a leader researcher on Chinese seafarers' life, noted in 2003 the change in function of the commissar on Chinese ships. She observed that commissars are playing an increasingly important function in providing welfare support for the crew during a voyage. Le commissar, as the second highest officer aboard, supports the captain, whereas the captain gives orders directly to the crew. Le commissar will use indirect channels to influence their behavior. He will talk to the crew in a friendly, informal way to ensure the willingness of the crew to carry out the captain's order. The crew is expected to see him, and he is expected to behave as an exemplary member of the Communist Party to be imitated by the crew. When Chinese ships call at the port, the commissar on board is not listed on the IMO crew list as such. Instead, this officer often is reported as the purser to avoid inconvenient examination by port inspectors. In other cases, the commissar is registered with port authorities as a rating, AB, motorman, mess boy, and so on. He will actually perform these duties, while his additional responsibilities as commissars are not mentioned on official documents. This latter arrangement has two important advantages. It evades port inspector attention and allows the commissar to work closer to the crew on a daily basis. Even when a commissar works as an AB or the mess crew, he still receives a salary equivalent to a first or second official. Other arrangements also appear from time to time. Port chaplains and ship visitors enjoy an advantage that the port state-controlled authorities do not, because seafarers' welfare workers are not formally affiliated with port authorities or government agencies. Seafarers often are willing to identify the commissar to a chaplain or seafarer come from seafarer center. Simply by using the Chinese phrase for commissar, chaplain can find out who fulfill these duties on board. Who is the 政委 on your ship? 政委 is the commissar. Although both serve in position of high leadership on a ship, the process for selecting ship's masters and commissars differed enormously. Candidates for captaincy must pass a variety of examinations and acquire a set level of experience to advance the ship's mastery. Commissars, on the other hand, are recruited from elsewhere in Chinese society. One source is the Chinese army. Officers reaching the end of their commission can apply to work as a ship commissar. Those chosen have demonstrated loyalty to both the party and the state. Other commissars are recruited directly from ship's crew when they showed a thorough understanding of Chinese political and Communist Party's principles. Often those crewmen who exhibit good moral conduct will be chosen. This method of recruitment draws men with little experience and from relatively low position. But written communication skills are required because the job involves writing regular reports. However, the relative ease of gaining the position through demonstrated party loyalty and good conduct means that other skills are neglected or poorly developed. So we can see who is commissar here. It's in a Chinese flagship. Tension results. The party would preferred officers become commissar, but many officers showed little interest in the position. Last man toward the bottom of the crew hierarchy filled the commissariat because it is a quicker path to promotion than the traditional ladder of ranks. The commissar's daily life we're talking a little bit about that. In earlier 2016, a Chinese ship docked in the port of Montreal for more than about 50 days as a result of a trade dispute. So NAMMA visited the ship at least twice per week during those 50 days. For the first several weeks of the ship's extended stay, the crew said little to NAMMA visitor, even though one, that is me, is from mainland China. That is only after the crew learned that this visitor hails from Fujian province, the home territory of many of the crew, and then they began to show a little openness. We are fortunate to be able to have close connect with the crew in the following weeks, including the commissar himself. It gave us a chance to understand his function and his life. Much of his daily life is identical to that of the rest of the crew. At the same time, he is one of the top leaders on each ship. Even if his authority is less overt, he is also a representative of the ship owner. NAMMA's interview process yielded several practical suggestions for how chaplains might better approach Chinese seafarers. One particular avenue of meaningful conversation is to study the geography of China and the particular culture traditional for each region, so as to be prepared to ask them where the seafarer is from. This question can help establish a geography relationship. A small portable map of China can also help start an interesting and personal conversation. I have one of that. I can show you later. The seafarer may be able to build a connection between his home region and the chaplain through a familiar element. Additionally, chaplains would do well also to learn several standard greetings, like Ni hao. Ni hao, exactly. And then we just add one word, Ni hao ma. It means like, how are you? Ni hao is hello. Yeah, it's easy. We have developed flashcards. It's easy for me. Yeah. We have developed flashcards to help with you, and they are on sale in this conference. Finally, it is good to invite the seafarers to the Seafarer Center. So 43 is to invite them, like I see you later in Seafarer Center. Even if the seafarer does not accept the invitation immediately, they may decide to visit another Seafarer Center at another port, or will come to yours when they are in the port again. Remember that Chinese seafarers might have initial hesitation to visit the Seafarer Center, as they might think it a front for government or foreign union influence. A friendly explanation that the Seafarer Center are independent charities that exist only to help seafarers for all countries is very helpful. NAMMA's experience with Chinese crew suggests strongly that rather than simply talk to fill up time, chaplains can, with practice and patience, speak with commissars meaningfully and in some way deeply. More when chaplains and ship visitors understand the function of the commissar and communicate with him in a meaningful way, it can be a great door to communicate with the whole group. Thank you very much. Oh, I even forgot.